Welcome once again to the Sports Office. It's Friday night here in Southfield, hanging out with Cat 5, James Paxton in here, Woody Woodruff running things. We've got special guests coming along the way. But James, let's get it going with the big story of what we saw last night, what we saw today, the Detroit Pistons.
Can I say someone who was already a star has become a superstar?
You may say that because the guy you're talking about, Cade Cunningham. We saw Cade put out a performance last night, 42 points, 13 assists against the hated New York Knicks. And you know what, James? This is personal for Cade, it seems like.
Well, he not only likes playing at Madison Square Garden, I think he loves playing at Madison Square Garden. 42 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds. He was electric. And it's what you want to see from a team that lost a playoff series to a team. So what do they do the next year? They beat them 3 times in the regular season. They beat them on the road. They beat them by an average point margin. Do you see the stat? 28 points. Every single win was the average point margin of 28 points. That's what's crazy. Yesterday was, I guess, only 15 points, but it didn't feel like it in that fourth quarter.
You know what? It goes to show how different teams can be from year to year, because last year we saw the Pistons beat the Knicks in the regular season 3 out of 4 games and then lose in the playoffs.
Right.
I don't think that's happening this year at all if they do meet in the playoffs moving forward, because this Pistons team is devastating right now, not only with Cade Cunningham, but with the supporting cast. It's amazing what is going on and how he is facilitating different guys to have their games blossom as well. Dennis Jenkins, Paul Reed.
Paul Reed was exceptional again last night. That's what's, we've kind of talked about it in this office about the next week of games without Isaiah Stewart is quite a bit. And you have Spurs, Thunder, Cavs. I mean, it's a lot. But real quick, I want to show you some of the clips from last night, and we'll see how these announcers on Amazon Prime, former Pistons coach Stan Van Gundy, was just glazing over Cade Cunningham. Tom, can you play that for me?
Let it rip.
Cunningham. Oh! Left hand. Cunningham with the crank.
That's about the only thing left that we hadn't seen tonight. We hadn't seen him throw one down.
He understands where we at, Coach.
Cade Cunningham. He's a star. He's a superstar.
He's a star.
Stop it.
We're talking about an MVP level performance from Cunningham.
I mean, they were talking about him like he was the star of the show. And then here's my favorite part. He knows how good he was last night. He was so confident. He's screaming in defenders' faces. He's throwing it up to Dennis Jenkins like this. They didn't stop the whole night. No Stewart and no Duren. And as I said just before we started that clip, you have a week's full of games with no Isaiah Stewart. How's it going to be? And real quick, I wanted to show this for you, Woody. We were laughing at this.
Yes.
Watch this block by Paul Reed, and then you're going to see Jalen Brunson hate every single aspect of his life. He's so embarrassed because Karl Anthony Towns couldn't man up and do what he was supposed to do. That is a perfect time to bring in our special guest, Hunter Patterson from The Athletic.
Yeah, Hunter!
Who was at the game.
Yes.
What happened? Did every celebrity just go home crying?
I mean, a good portion of them, I think, did. Tracy Morgan didn't look like he was too happy. Fans started heading for the exits pretty early. And, I mean, the Pistons look as comfortable as ever against them.
That's the whole thing. Pistons looking comfortable. I asked James earlier, and I'll ask you. It seems that it was personal for Cade, this whole thing against the Knicks. And you know what? I'm looking at a guy like Jeremy Sochan, and he got dusted last night and then talked to by Cade after the shot went down. I mean, this kind of performance, it lifts everybody.
Yeah, and the thing about Cade is I asked him post-game if he felt he made a statement. He turned every I statement into a we statement. He said he felt like the team made a statement. He's really good about kind of alleviating that pressure off himself. He doesn't want to be too forward-facing, although he knows those are the moments he cherishes. So I think it was, in my opinion, his kind of coming-out party for being on an MVP level, and he looked comfortable there.
And to have it done on the national stage, Madison Square Garden, in front of everybody. I mean, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Kendrick Perkins, everybody was in the house last night.
D-Wade was courtside.
Exactly. Yeah. So, when you do it there, all of a sudden the word starts going like wildfire, like, hey, don't sleep on Cade, don't sleep on Cade. I saw Cade. So, we're seeing that now, aren't we?
Absolutely. I think he's only 24. He's kind of starting to just I don't think he's even in his prime yet.
I would agree. I think he can somehow get better. He can become a better shooter.
Absolutely.
Like that's what's crazy is if you had one flaw maybe for Cade, I'd say he isn't the best 3-point shooter. He was draining everything last night.
Over the last few games, he's been pretty good for three. He seems really comfortable off the dribble. He's someone who you can't speed up. I think that's obvious at this point. But he's just reaching a new level and ascending toward where I think people thought he would be when they drafted him number 1.
You mentioned you can't speed him up. I love the way he controls the game that way. I mean, they could just be coming off of the opposition getting some kind of fast break point or whatever, and here comes Cade, deliberate, slow, and then all of a sudden, if he needs to, boom, lightning to the rim, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, So, he is controlling games, not only just for the Pistons side, but also for the opposition's defense.
Yeah, there was one possession where Sohan tried to pick him up full court, and you could tell Sohan thrives on physicality and kind of getting under people's skin, and he's good at it. I definitely give him credit for it, but Cade just can operate in such small windows, and I think you think that you can take the ball from him because he moves kind of slow. He's like methodic about how he goes and moves around the court, but it's like you try and then you get crossed over. He'll put you on his hip, and he's just stronger and bigger than most defenders.
Again, I did want to say Cade MVP performance. You really got to start looking at, man, what are they doing with Paul Reed? Because he had another great game. Yeah. He was great defensively. He was great around the basket. And you think, no Duren, no Stewart, they're going to be terrible, but he's defending Karl Anthony Towns great. He had 18 points, and that's what's kind of crazy. This team is so deep. They've turned Dennis Jenkins into a successful role player.
Yeah,
and that credit has to go to Trajan Langdon because he's obviously been able to construct this team. I mean, Paul Reed came as a throwaway in a deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's seeing the talent out there and he's collecting it and making it work here in Detroit, and that's exactly what we needed to see.
And JB gives Paul a ton of credit.
Yeah,
he says whether he's gonna play like 48 minutes or not play at all, he prepares the same. He prepares as if he's a starter, and these are the moments where we see that kind of come into fruition, and he's playing like he is a starter and probably the best third center in the league at this point.
You said you were at the game last night in New York and talked to Cade. What is it about his demeanor? I mean, after the game, he comes in saying, we haven't won anything yet. I mean, and it would be easy to get all gassed up about what's going on with him and, hearing all these accolades and all that. But, I mean, how does it feel to see how level-headed he is, with all of this swirling around him?
It's extremely impressive. I mean, we mentioned he's only 24. He has all the access, the contract. He's on a super max, and he never seems to get ahead of himself. I think he's someone who really feels he's not just meant to be the average NBA player. And
it's a real good point. I think he's seen himself as a star since he was drafted.
Yeah, I mean, and I spoke to him for a story last year when I first got here, and he kind of mentioned that 28-game losing streak just made him more sure of himself. And I think that type of conviction in situations where you're essentially the laughingstock of the league at that point really speaks to his belief in himself and him not feeling like this is anywhere he's not supposed to be. Like, he thinks that this is how his career was essentially destined to go.
Now, I don't want to get too crazy about this, but we're seeing it with two of our Detroit teams here, and we're going to focus on the Pistons, but Red Wings-wise, Dylan Larkin's had an unbelievable Olympics. He has 2 goals in 2 games. He's on the ice quite a bit. He's kind of having a coming-out party. And then both Pistons had unbelievable All-Star weekends. On Sunday, in every game they played, they made a statement. And you had the memorable plays in this new social media era. You need that. Duren's got the alley-oop from Anthony Edwards. Cade blocks Kevin Durant at the rim. Is it weird that I'm thinking maybe with both of our Detroit teams, Red Wings and Pistons, can these guys come off the All-Star or Olympic break into, I don't know, more successful? Does that happen, or is it just a game? Am I putting too much into that?
I don't think you're putting too much into it. I think for the Pistons, they have a real chance to prove themselves over these next few games at home. They're in Chicago tomorrow, but then I believe they have the Spurs, OKC.
Thunder, and Cavs, all without Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, those are big opportunities to kind of prove your point on them being certified and as good as they seem right now.
Plus, we'd also get a chance to look at the new Cleveland Cavaliers with, Harden
James
and
Harden.
that kind of thing, and see what kind of challenge they will present in this stretch run, because there's like 20 or
28,
28 games left or something like that in the
It's
regular
that
season.
and the conference. Because when you look at the Eastern Conference,
Exactly.
of course, you still have to kind of be worried about New York, even though what happened yesterday. Boston and Cleveland, am I missing anyone who could potentially be like, okay, they could win the East?
I
don't think so.
That
I don't
covers
think
it
so.
for me.
I mean, I don't really have that much faith in Toronto. And so you look at those 4 teams. Cleveland and Boston, I think, are the two that, okay, who can step up and be like the number 2 or next team in the East? That's why I want to see Cleveland. With James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, maybe they could take that next step and say, okay, let's go compete against the Pistons.
Let's not forget, you fans can get involved in the discussion. Don't forget the Zoom room right here, the QR code right down here in the corner. All you got to do is check in, come over here. My man Tommy is waiting for you here to see what's going on. His good fingers are ready. Make the call right now. You can come on in. But back to the discussion. I want to ask Hunter, is this Pistons team maybe ahead of schedule a little bit?
I think if you ask them, they'll say they're probably where they expected to be. But in my opinion, I think they are ahead of schedule. This was not, I don't think, in the plans for them to already kind of be creeping up on the win total from last season.
Right.
And they seem like they're sustainable in the success that they're having right now.
We were talking earlier about Cade Cunningham, talk of MVP for the league and all that. There's been some straw polls already that have him out. I think he's 3rd right now behind
He's
SG.
2nd in betting odds today.
Oh, okay.
He's at plus 195. SGA's still at a minus 500.
Yeah.
Is that crazy to anyone else that
That
he's that
is
much
nuts.
of a favorite?
It is. I mean, he's outstanding. He's averaging almost 32 on nearly 50, 40, 90 splits. So it's, I mean, and he's not even really playing every fourth quarter. So I do have to give him his
But
credit.
how can you say he's valuable if he doesn't need to play the fourth quarter?
Because I think up until then, he's the reason.
Everything,
Yeah,
right?
he's the reason why
everything,
they're
right.
like, he's the reason why he doesn't have to play those four.
Exactly.
Right.
And then you also got to deal with Nikola Jokic out there because I think he's 2nd in this voting right now. But James, you could flip-flop some of that. I hope Cade steps up, man. This would be huge if he could become league MVP. And then right after that, it would have to be J.B. Bickerstaff Coach of the Year, right?
Hey, he seems like a lock for me. I think also just kind of factoring in storyline at this point, that goes into Cade's favor. Just a couple years ago, they were, as I mentioned earlier, almost the laughingstock of the league.
They were.
Right.
I mean, they were.
No, you can say it. They were.
When you lose 28 games straight, I don't know how it isn't a laugh.
Kuzma was talking about how, like, you don't want to be that team. And
I don't want Kyle Kuzma talking about me.
I don't want him on my team.
I don't want Kyle
No.
Kuzma talking about how bad the team
But
is.
if you factor that storyline in, I think this is extremely impressive what Cade is doing.
Unbelievable. He had a great game yesterday. He's coming up on, you already knew he was going to be great. But for fans or people like me, I'm starting to think he may be a little better than I thought. Like, I thought Cade could be like top 10, top 15. And the more you play, like, he's going to be, especially in this new era, Durant's not going to play much longer. LeBron James isn't going to play much longer. Who's the new face of the league? Okay?
It's going to be Cade.
Well, we hope so. But
Very well could be.
I think, Victor Wembanyama, Jokic will still be here, and Luka, but maybe Cade Cunningham. And I know it's harder in Detroit, but he has that chance.
Yeah, the one thing we mentioned earlier with Trajan Langdon and roster construction, this is one of those things where you don't even mess with Cade. I would try to sign him to an extension tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because, let's be honest.
12-year deal like in baseball.
I would like old school hockey, where you get like a 14-year deal for a guy. That would be huge. I would take it all day long, Hey, look, we'll talk more about the Pistons and Cade Cunningham, our special MVP, and I'm going to say it, Finals MVP. That's right. I'm going out on a limb right now. Hey, don't forget, you guys can get in the Zoom room. Get the QR code right down here. There's more of the Sports Office right after this short break. Sports Office on a Friday. Woody Woodruff, James Paxson, Hunter Patterson from The Athletic, all here tonight to talk about our favorite basketball team, the Detroit Pistons. And while the conversation has been spirited, we would love for you fans to get involved. The QR code right down there, the Zoom room, come on in and we'll chat. Let's continue our discussion. James, yes, go ahead.
Remind the people, when do we go on Fox 2?
Oh, that's right, yeah. Fox 2, we go live with this show on March 23rd. That's
why we have the new office.
So yeah, we got new digs here.
Nice.
You can see everything is nice, right? Got it ready for you guys to see, and we'll bring you all the information and fun stuff that normally is associated with the Sports Office. But let's get back into the Pistons discussion. And to start this segment, let's talk about the role players on the Pistons, okay? Because it seems that role players are playing their roles to perfection.
That's a great way to put it.
Paul
Absolutely.
Reed, Dennis Jenkins, even guys like Tolu Smith, when they come in from the G League, are coming in and stepping up, filling that instant role. What does that say about the depth on this team, Hunter?
I think it was clear pretty early on. JB was talking about coming into the season, they knew that they were going to have some tough decisions to make, rotation-wise, and figuring out who should get the bulk of the minutes. And he's had a pretty open rotation so far. He'll play 10 to 12 guys, and I think that'll kind of, as we get closer to the postseason, like dwindle a bit. Obviously, you can't play that many guys in the postseason,
Right.
but they're arguably, I would say, one of the deeper teams in the league for sure.
You know, there's been teams and there's been years where there have been collections of players like this, but then all of a sudden maybe attitude blows the whole thing up where
Right.
guys can't exist or coexist together. And this Pistons team is miles away from that because all these guys seem to like each other. In fact, Hunter, with Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, they're brothers.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that kind of
Absolutely.
mentality.
And JB, that's another thing. I keep bringing him up, but like he mentioned that earlier on in the season where it's like everyone is competitive and they know, okay, if I'm not doing my job, someone can come in and do that almost to the level that I can, but there's not really any negativity in the group. Like they're all happy for each other. I think Sasser's a great example of that, where
Yeah.
Dennis essentially has the minutes that Sasser was probably going to have before he started his season injured, and they're still as close as ever. Sasser is one of the first people up off the bench to celebrate Dennis as often as he can. So I think they're all just a really unique, connected group.
And we're also seeing the blossoming of Asar Thompson on both ends. Well, first the defense, but I mean, if he can maybe get a little more offense, this would also be a big deal for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the offense, but I mean, of course, when we talk Asar, you think defensively.
Yes.
He could make like an all-defensive team this year.
For sure.
Oh, no
And,
doubt.
I mean, I think he averages 2 steals a game, which is kind of crazy. Like, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but you really don't get a ton. And he's able to guard a lot of different positions.
Yeah.
He's a really good defensive player. You'd think if this continues, the team's on the right track. And maybe they're ahead of schedule, maybe they're not, but we've talked about it all year. This is the year. I mean, no Tatum. He may come back, but no Tatum for right now.
Right.
The Pacers couldn't do anything because of Halliburton and other injuries. And Antetokounmpo is either leaving, not leaving, staying, injured, leaving, whatever he's doing. It's like, this is the year. And I don't want to be dramatic, Hunter, but I don't think you can waste this year.
No, I think you definitely can't, and they're all aware. Like I mentioned, Cade not feeling like he wants to ever be an average NBA player, but that's a collective mentality, I think, throughout the group where each person, Paul Reed even, like he stars in his role, and they all understand that there's no better time than now to try to be as competitive as possible.
No better time than now. Gotta love that. Oh, we got to take a quick break. Again, right, Bobby? I think so, yes. So we'll be right back. More Sports Office right after this on a Friday night, talking NBA basketball. All right, we are back on the Friday night edition of the Sports Office, and it's time for some fun and games with Hunter. We got him right here. James, take us through. What are we going to do?
All right, it's Fun Friday. It's also Woody versus. He's about 500. I think he's won a couple, so we're good. With Hunter, we're all in the NBA basketball mood. Why don't we play a little Sports Office horse, also known as Fox?
Yes.
Adam, please get our hoop, and please show Tom, because I think he's going to get hit quite a bit. Guys, take your shot. You know how to play horse.
Let's
Hunter,
see
why
what
don't you
you're
go
gonna do.
first? So your first shot,
First shot is
that's
okay.
a miss. All right,
Woody, I'm gonna go.
explain your shot.
I'm gonna go. Bank. Bank is open.
The bank is open.
Bank is open.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
All right, Hunter,
That
let's
was
get a make
terrible.
here.
No letters yet.
No.
Straight jumper. Oh!
We may be playing F for fail.
We may be.
Okay, let's get a little closer, boys.
All right. No rim. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
Oh my gosh.
This is terrible.
Okay, all right.
This is terrible. Come on now.
He's got it. Oh my gosh. Good
Weak.
gosh.
That was weak.
Oh my
That was weak.
gosh.
Oh,
All right, Woody, it's Woody's shot.
Oh.
Ring the bell, Woody.
All right, Hunter. All right, he got it. Okay.
Tommy, let's have it. All right.
No letters yet. No letters yet.
All right, Tommy,
Also
get another
going-
one underneath you.
Tommy, by your chair.
All right, here we go.
All right, go ahead, Woody. Let's see how this works.
One hand lefty.
Okay.
Bang!
One hand lefty. You can do backboard or not.
Tommy, give me it.
That's a no. An F goes to Hunter.
All right, here we go.
Come on,
Here
Woody.
we go.
Come on, Woody.
Granny shot.
Yeah.
Oh, and Granny died. Oh my
The
gosh.
jumper is not here. The jumper is not here.
This is
Here it
ugly.
is. Woo!
Oh my gosh. I'm watching the Utah Jazz fourth quarter team.
Okay,
All right, off the glass. He
I saw
called
that.
bank. My man
I
called
saw that
bank.
off the glass. I've got F.
All right, everybody's got
Two
an F.
F's. Two F's.
All right, come on, Hunter. We got about a
How much
minute
time
left.
left?
Minute.
1 minute.
Okay, not bad. And then Woody's
I'll
going
go
to take
deep
the
ball.
same shot. I made it. Right here.
Yes.
Right
you
here.
saw that.
Hunter. No good. We got FO for Hunter.
All right,
Woody,
here
what we
go.
got here, Woody? You want to give me like a windmill?
Lefty hook.
Kareem.
Oh, he tried the Kareem.
Okay.
Righty hook. Not bad. All right, last couple shots here. Corner three. Oh my
weak.
God.
You know what? That's a hard shot.
Finally knocking the deep ball down.
You are not. All right, let's go to Woody. Another corner three. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. All right.
How much time left?
30.
All right, Woody's got it. This is bad, guys. I didn't expect only 2 makes. Oh! Oh my
Tommy
gosh!
said, it's
Woody,
a
one more
layup.
shot. One more shot. All right, Hunter, one more shot.
That's it.
All right,
it's
we
not.
we
No,
all
it's not.
lost.
How much time left in the
Okay.
show? 10-9.
All right, go
Hey guys,
away.
look, we've had a fun week here. Come on in, Hunter, real quick. Thanks a lot. Hunter Patterson, read him in The Athletic, covering the NBA and the Pistons. James Paxton, Category 5. We'll see you guys next week.